Everywhere everywhere she's ever gone, it's because a man put her there. Her dad put her here, a boyfriend put her there, another boyfriend put her there, and then now the husband. So she's never really built anything by herself. You know, I mean, fine, be happy who you are, but don't sit here and, pull a snow job on everybody else and act like you built it. That's not being genuine. It's not being truthful to people.
No. No. You're not high-low. You're just an asshole. This is an asshole comment to make.
I agree.
Just high-low and like laughing it off, and then you're kind of like, well, I don't want to be on the spotlight. I'm just going to show up to Kevin Costner's charity event in Santa Barbara with $300,000 of jewelry. It's like, South Park does an amazing rendition of them. If you don't want to be seen, it's pretty easy not to be seen.
It is very easy.
Especially in Montecito. Do your thing. It's fine. You don't have to call the paparazzi. If she was just doing charity work and none of that, I really wouldn't have a problem with her.
I'm just like, why do we need to hear from them? Is my thing. Is like,
I don't really
why
get
are you
that
the
either.
keynote speaker at all these charity events? You're not your
You're an actress,
husband's mother.
which is fine.
You're an actress. You're fifth
you're
on the
not.
call sheet at Suits. Developing today, growing US backlash over the latest 6 stunts by Meghan Markle from American entertainment legends like Billy Bush and Dana Loesh, as Chrissy Teigen launches the most bizarre defense of her former Deal or No Deal colleague, admitting her friendship with the polarizing Meghan Markle, but then claiming that their children have never met each other and that they have no plans for any play date in the future. I wonder why. This is from people. The model 39 defended the Duchess of Sussex and said she's undeserving of all the hate she gets. I adore her, Teigen said about Markle. I really adore her. I think she is so incredibly strong. It is insane to me how polarizing she is for so many different people when she really is just a kind, good person that wants the best for all her friends and the best for people around her and the best for her own relationship and for her children. I mean, clearly Chrissy Teigen doesn't know this woman. Chrissy Teigen didn't know this woman at all, did she? I mean, they worked on Deal or No Deal together. There are about 50 models. And I also don't really think we should be treating Chrissy Teigen as a judge of character given her trolling history and her bullying history. They're two peas in a pod. But this article went on that the former lip sync battle host added that Markle doesn't do anything for show and just lives simply. She just wants those things Teigen shared. And people come up with all of these different things that she could be about or what she wants, but it's not that complicated. Despite the pair being close friends, are not, Teigen, who shares 4 children with husband John Legend, says she doesn't organise playdates with Markle and Prince Harry because she doesn't leave her house. I'm not joking, Teigen said with a laugh. I don't go anywhere. I try to do every photo shoot, everything at our house. So no. But if the time came up, absolutely. I mean, Tash, this I think is the lamest defense of Meghan Markle yet. And when it's Chrissy Teigen, Hollywood's most famous bully and troll, being the one to say you're a nice person, it's probably actually a sort of almost negative character witness, right?
Yeah, she's not the best person to talk about how lovely and wonderful someone is. And as for them talking about, well, obviously she's saying that she was close with Meghan. It was only, I think, last year that she and her husband, John Legend, they were being interviewed on a carpet somewhere. And she forgot that Meghan had sent her some of her American Riviera orchard jam. You remember the business before as ever that she couldn't trademark. And Chrissy was like, jam? What jam? And then it was John Legend was like, the jam that we had to promote. So, yeah, it's obvious that this relationship is more transactional. It's obvious that they have probably got the same sort of management, that they boost each other up here and there. Having Meghan had Chrissy obviously on the show. And the fact that what she said was weird about the children, because obviously anyone that's a good friend of someone, your children, if you've got children similar ages, it's quite normal to have play dates. But she doesn't. Meghan doesn't have play dates. Their children don't seem to have play dates with any of these celebrities that she says, oh, we're such good friends. We're such good friends. But nobody ever actually says, oh, yes, our children, they all hang out together. It's becoming more and more bizarre where people are mentioning the children in such a way, because surely if you're such a great friend with someone, you would have seen them at some point. Meghan's quite happily calling Marcus Anderson and the crying makeup artist their uncles. But yeah, you don't really see anyone else that comes out with these gushing speeches about her saying, oh, yes, she's such a wonderful, wonderful mum. Our kids play together. She's amazing.
And the pop culture tide, Tash, has just completely done a 180 in the US now. It's just so widely accepted now, what we've been reporting for a long time. But I wanted to play you a couple of examples. First, Dana Loesh talking about how Meghan married the spare. Big news! Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
500 thing. Do you know what she was doing there? Because what was the point of her being there? Because it was about female executives, and she's never built anything. She only got where she was because she slept with the spare and got knocked up. Let's be honest about it. I mean, that's, I guess that's one way to do it, but, don't sit here and call yourself a female founder when you married the money and you married the prestige. You didn't build anything for yourself. You committed the greatest sin in your Gloria Steinem feminism rule book. You didn't make it yourself. You married it. Otherwise, nobody cares. She was a Z-list actress and was occasionally on a Canadian TV show. That was it. Everywhere she's ever gone, it's because a man put her there. Her dad put her here, a boyfriend put her there, another boyfriend put her there, and then now the husband. So she's never really built anything by herself. I mean, fine, be happy who you are, but don't sit here and, pull a snow job on everybody else and act like you built it. That's not being genuine. It's not being truthful to people. But I don't know why she's there. And I think that she's indicative of a large problem with like the leftist influencer psyche. I don't know. It's a weird thing. There's more audio of her. This is, because they had that As Ever show. And then she said, this is 20. Suits is a show that no one watched and no one even knew about until she married the spare.
I think Dana Loesh was just spot on there. But she also talked about how Meghan isn't really business.
She's not a business person. She white labels product, and then they purposefully restrict access to promote the falsehood of sales. So they only come out with a very limited number, and then they act like, oh my gosh, the demand is crazy. We sold out. It's a marketing trick. And when I say white label, everybody knows how that works, right? You have another company, another entity that already has a product, and you just switch the labels out. You just white label it. She did that to her rosé. And the marmalade spread that doesn't even actually use oranges. She had orange marmalade. It uses they used frozen orange juice to make it. It's just a bunch of sugary nonsense, and it's runny, and it's not even actual marmalade. It's all fake. Isn't this like the whole leftist thing? Fake, fake, fake. Everything's fake. They're going to try to sell you something that they don't actually have. This is a common theme, whether you're a leftist content creator or a Democrat politician on the Hill. Is that not a common theme? But I also can't stand, one of the reasons I don't like her, because I hate the falseness of this content creation.
I mean, Dana Loesh, I think, Tash, was just absolutely spot on. But of course, the line that will absolutely devastate Meghan Markle, everywhere she's got, a man put her there. Unfair?
No lies detected. No lies detected. Meghan is like the opposite of, she obviously likes to advertise her friendship with Gloria Steinem. And Meghan is not a feminist. Meghan is not a girl's girl. She has married money. Even this business venture that she's got, she's not built anything up from the ground. She has had a complete disaster of it. I mean, she couldn't even trademark it, and she's had to change the name. Everything to do with As Ever or American Riviera Orchard has been a complete disaster since she launched it, which was only last year. And she's been celebrated as a highly influential woman of power. And they're talking about her like she has created something from scratch off her own hard work. And it's not. Harry's bank account paid for it. She can start up as many businesses as she like, and it's not even her products. It's white label stuff. It's stuff that other people make, other people create, other people taste, test everything, and she just sticks basically her label over the top of it and marks up the prices. There is nothing about her that makes her a successful founder. That's why these appearances are so laughable, but also offensive to the number of people that they have on these panels. You see them, they're all CEOs of companies. They've all got these, 10, 20 years track record of successful business behind them. They've made something, they've created something. And Meghan's up there going, yes, I'm one of you. No, you're not. You're a complete and utter fraud.
100%. And I mean, Tash, we saw it in the room in Washington, D.C. this week where the actual powerful people in the room were laughing at her. They were laughing at her and heckling these claims that she was a founder. And it's because it's ludicrous. I mean, she's trying to say that the fact that With Love Meghan has been a total flop and she's going to start putting out short little recipes is in some way an innovation. I mean, it's a
I
joke.
don't that was one of the funniest things. I didn't watch the whole thing because I just can't with her anymore. I've tuned out of her voice. It's too much. She's oversaturated. But there were clips being shared, and that was the funniest things where she's like, "So I wanted to put out recipes, in 2-minute videos," and I'm thinking to myself, "Where can I film that? Where can people watch that?" I don't know, Megan. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I mean, there's so many companies where you can watch these short reels, and she's talking about it like she invented the wheel. She's off her rocker when she comes out with stuff like that. She talks like she's the first woman to have been pregnant. She's the first woman that's ever built a business, which she didn't build a business. She just constantly comes out with things. And whilst I think a lot of people feel very frustrated with her because it seems that she's gotten away with so much, I think that she's actually hilarious. The more that you see of her, it's just, you can't take her seriously. She's got no credentials, she's got no experience, and she comes and collects these awards all the time and talks like she's some successful woman, and she's not. The only thing that she's successful at, I would say, is social climbing, and that she definitely could win a decent award for.
What's interesting is it's not just personalities on the right in the US now criticizing Meghan. I mean, Billy Bush, really mainstream guy, Today Show, Access Hollywood, the full works. He's now gone there in his new independent show, Hot Mics. Watch this. But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance. Some can even be harmful to your skin, he said. Now, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices so he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He describes it as being almost like Photoshop for your face and says you may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the Age Rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. So in light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public. It is free, it is uninterrupted, and he will outline exactly how to use this simple solution from home. And he said if it helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, he will actually be thrilled knowing that he helped. The video's gone viral as you'd expect, started on Facebook, over 2.3 million views now. The comments and feedback have been outstanding too. Thousands of women report they look decades younger. One commented that it was the best result of anything they've used. They said, I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you. So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken, or if it's easier for you, you can just click on the link in the description box below this video. That's bhmd1.com/outspoken. There is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers, though. He says, if watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video at bhmd1.com/outspoken right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
Continues to remind us why she's just like us, flaunting $300,000 in jewelry at a charity event.
Love that.
In Santa Barbara.
I always quote
Yeah.
that stupid show she has where she's like doing that homemaking thing on Netflix, Meghan and whatever. And one of the first episodes, Mindy Kaling comes over and she's like, I love your outfit. Who makes it? I love your outfit. And Meghan Markle's like, well, I'm very high-low. She's like, my pants are from Zara, which like, okay,
That's low.
that's low. I shop at Zara. Totally
Yeah,
cool.
me too.
But then she's like, my top's Loro Piana, which is probably at least a $2,500 top. And I'm like, no. You're not high-low. You're just an asshole. This is an asshole comment to make. This is an asshole comment to make.
I agree.
Just high-low and like laughing it off, and then you're kind of like, well, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I'm just going to show up to Kevin Costner's charity event in Santa Barbara with $300,000 of jewelry. It's like, South Park does an amazing rendition of them. If you don't want to be seen, it's pretty easy not to be seen.
It is very easy.
Especially in Montecito. Do your thing. It's fine. You don't have to call the paparazzi. If she was just doing charity work and none of that, I really wouldn't have a problem with her.
I'm just like, why do we need to hear from them? Is my thing. Is like,
I don't
well, you know
really
what? Why
get
are you
that
the
either.
keynote speaker at all these charity events? You're not your
You're an
husband's
actress,
mother.
which is fine.
You're an actress. You're fifth
you're
on the
not.
call sheet at Suits.
You're not on the front lines, volunteering in Gaza. Let's pretend you're not doing that. Meghan just grinds my gears.
I mean, again, totally damning, Tash. Fifth on the call sheet at Suits. Again, totally true. But really interesting, isn't it? Because this is now emerged into overall pop culture. Like there's been this tipping point moment, Tash. This isn't a political thing. It's not an anti-woke thing. It's not a right-wing thing where people like me started commenting on what she was doing. This is now mainstream pop culture in America, because, by the way, that's completely right, Tash. Where do we see Adele? We see her at birthday parties, right? Like, they are calling the paps. It's so obvious.
Oh, she's definitely, all the time. How much did we see of her in New York, paparazzi waiting outside the restaurants? And the thing is, I'm sure a lot of these guests, even the hotel she was staying at, that people stay at these hotels, celebrities stay at these hotels. We saw it with Natalie Portman in New York when Meghan went for her baby shower. She was irritated because all they do is call the paps. And if you are a celebrity or a politician and you just want some privacy, Meghan is breaching everybody else's privacy. People that are turning up to these exclusive restaurants, they just want to go in, they just want to go out. And you've got all of these paps out there. She's so desperate for coverage, and I think it's one of the things that makes her so completely ridiculous. Harry has wasted millions on countless court cases. We've heard countless stories, sob stories of how they're hounded by the press and the media, and all Meghan does is expose herself continuously, using the tabloids, using the paparazzi. As I said, these two they contradict each other. No wonder that they can barely stand the sight of each other a lot of the time. Meghan is a complete and utter hypocrite, but then Harry is as well. It's hardly surprising that there's friction in the marriage, whether it's to do with his hair treatment that he's having, or he's just realized that he's not married the same woman that he's with now. Who knows? But yeah, the ridiculousness, the amount of time she spends on trying to expose herself is laughable when he's just constantly whining about privacy.
Good news for her, though, Tash. There's another fake award coming. Another fake award.
Yep.
This time for the podcast, which didn't even stay in the top 100 despite all the publicity. Royal Daily Tea revealed Jesus Take the Wheel. Meghan Markle has won yet another award. She has had more fake awards than I have had bowel movements this week. Meghan Markle's podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, has won the Gold Award in the Business People and Entrepreneurs Shaping Culture category of the Signal Awards, which aim to recognize meaningful podcasts. Are you kidding me? I have never in my life seen anyone awarded so much for mediocrity and failure. How many more fake awards can one person get? Awards do not cover up failure, Meghan. Cancelled shows and podcasts speak for themselves. I mean, come on. Confessions of a Female Founder. The only thing it should win is biggest podcast flop of the year.
It was a snooze fest. It was just exactly the same as Archetypes, where Meghan just overtalked her guest. She talked mostly about herself. She put in news stories that none of us had ever heard before, little cutesy anecdotes. She is one of the most boring women that's ever been given a microphone. And as I said, she cannot just give the microphone over to her guests. She has to bring it back to her all of the time. It's her narcissism. But to be winning an award for this, I mean, it was kicked out of the charts. I think it initially appeared and it was gone within 24 hours. And that was because obviously Car Crash TV, it's very similar. Everybody's interested to see it all, what it's about. People want to review it. And then they realize that it's just truly awful. But I looked at the Signal Awards, and you have to have a live podcast to enter, but you have to pay a fee to enter yourself, or you have to give full permission for someone to enter your podcast on your
Oh
behalf.
my God. So she
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah. So she has paid. She's probably got a member of staff to pay,
Oh.
put herself forward for this, and then she's got her little fan base to all do their little voting. So it's even more cringeworthy.
So
It's the fact
embarrassing.
that she wasn't nominated; she's nominated herself.
And what did you make of the fact that Serena Williams and Venus Williams have launched a new podcast, Tash? And the first person, it's called Stockton Street, and I've traveled to the UK to interview someone who isn't white, talking about their experiences sort of in the British aristocracy. But they didn't go for Meghan. They went for Britain's first black marchioness, Emma Thin, or as Lady Colin Campbell corrected me, Emma Bath. Here's a little bit of what happened.
Just having you being amazing and being really kind, come to find out that you're actually a marchioness. And so for me, that also being the first black marchioness in England, I thought was an incredible tale with everything that, we've done, the first of so many, and just understanding your experience and how you've done it with so much class and just so much aplomb.
And Meghan is not mentioned once in this podcast, Tash. Now, I know it was leaked that she had met up with Serena Williams at Soho House in New York. So I'm not actually suggesting that Serena has turned, but there is so much to read between the lines here because, of course, the way that Meghan dealt with being a mixed race princess was without any class whatsoever. And it's very telling that she's not even mentioned here.
I'd imagine that Emma Bath probably turned around and said, don't bring her up. She's had so many references by people constantly trying to compare her to Meghan, and that's chalk and cheese, really it is. And she is the perfect example of a black woman who was welcomed into high society, who has kept the time-honored traditions of her husband's family. She's brought her children up. Her son is now a Viscount, which she did laugh about with Serena. I'm yet to watch the full interview, but she doesn't see it as anything that's held her back. She is half Nigerian. I believe her father was, was a Nigerian chief. He's quite high up. And the fact is that she's never let any of it hold her back. She's never once cried about victimhood or how hard it is. And she looks incredibly happy with her husband. This woman she's wonderful. She comes across as kind and sweet and funny. And she has modernized the role of Marchioness. She's put the role on a world stage, but she still managed to do it with so much class. She really truly is a class act. And as I said, you couldn't compare her even slightly to the way that Meghan behaved the moment that she got her toe through the palace gates.
And then, and this was just God, anything she's linked to, anything they're linked to at the moment is just turning to absolute crap. And of course it is this charity World Vision, which Meghan was, a huge part of in the past, now being linked to racism and sexism allegations. Here's the story from the Daily Telegraph. A charity for which the Duchess of Sussex was once a global ambassador has been accused of racism and sexism. World Vision, which the Duchess has not been involved with since 2017, has been assessed by the Charity Commission after a complaint that the organisation's British arm is allegedly a toxic and hostile workplace. The Duchess has previously gone on trips representing the children's charity, including to Rwanda in 2016 and India the following year. She became a global ambassador for the Canadian arm of World Vision in 2016, the year she met Prince Harry after a trip to Rwanda highlighted the impact of clean water on the lives of children. A World Vision UK spokesman said the charity disputes the claims it has a toxic work culture. They added, "Our talented and dedicated staff are hugely important to us. We provide various mechanisms for dealing with staff complaints, and if these are upheld, we act immediately to put things right and take action following our policies, which are robust and fair." But I think the Royal News Network put it well, Tash, by writing, "It's interesting that the correlation of Harry and Meghan to a charity has become so insanely toxic that they come up even years after their association with it. The UK branch of World Vision, which Meghan hasn't been attached to in 8 years, has been accused of racism and sexism. Obviously, Meghan had nothing to do with it, but the press are quick to attach her name. This is because of all the accusations of bullying against Meghan Markle over the years. When you have as bad of track record as she does, everything you're connected to, past, present, and future, gets tied up in the negativity, no matter how tenuous the connection. Harry is the same way. Their brand is insanely toxic and damaged, and a publicity tour showing off your wealth and tossing word salad nonsense in the air is not going to help. Do you agree?
Oh, I do completely agree. And Meghan's association to that organization, she literally used them. This is when she decided she was going after Harry, and she got herself a new agent, Gina Newthorpe-Cowan, and she said, "I want you to make me look like a humanitarian," because Meghan had previously listed herself as a supermodel, I believe, on her Wikipedia page. So she gets this chance to go to Rwanda, and then she took a fashion photographer out there with her. There's been lots of complaints of her behavior when she was out there. She kept disappearing with the photographer. She turned it into her own fashion shoot. She did the absolute bare minimum. She demanded that the charity give her better accommodation, as per, I think it was Tom Bauer in Revenge. So she treated that organization terribly. But yes, the association is never, ever going to leave Meghan or Harry, because the way that they treat people. Harry's in the news yet again with another African organization, and I think it's because these two just, they treat everybody so badly that they're the perfect people to bring up, to show what a toxic environment that this previous place is. If they could have had Meghan there, then it proves that they must be toxic. And that just tells you what's left of Meghan's reputation. Everybody just associates her and Harry to anything and everything negative and toxic.
And Tash, they only have themselves to blame for all of the
Absolutely.
reasons we have previously revealed. And of course, if you do want to see much more of Tash, which I'm convinced you do, then make sure you subscribe to According to Taz, her brilliant YouTube channel for fantastic royal analysis. And of course, if you want to see much more of Tash here on Outspoken too, then subscribe to our Royal Uncancelled After Show. You'll get first access to our full show, twice the length of what you've just seen, every single weekday. And you can sign up to watch either live or on demand with no advertising at all. www.outspoken.live is the address. Let me repeat it, www.outspoken.live. I'd love you to join our free speech community. Substack's really important to me because it protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.